देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः पूज्य माँ भगवती, पूज्य श्री अरविंद, and you all are very close inmates of this very greater adventure on our part to assimilate Sri Aurobindo and Mother's vision through a very typical but the most challenging masterpiece written by Satprem on the basis of his 23 years conversation, assimilation, and interaction directly with the mother. So, disciple is human being, and discourse coming directly from the divine. So, this is the unique occasion witnessed by all of us because it has been a very remarkable historical event of our life that we have received this scripture similar to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So ours is an experience of Arjun has received Srimad Bhagavad Gita direct from the Supreme. So we also have a written scripture which has been directly received by the disciple from the Supreme directly. So this is what the background, agenda, and subsequent masterpieces written by Satprem as part of the exposition of his own understanding, his own human understanding of the master dictums offered to the disciple most intimately on the basis of love, on the basis of affection, and on the basis of reply to the surrender of the human sadhak. So it is also, in my view, for entire humanity to get awakened and to get clear-cut participation into this divine adventure by the Divine Mother after the physical departure of Sri Aurobindo. So this is what the very clear-cut background of this mind of the saints. Mind of the body we can understand. Mind of the animal we can understand. Mind of the germ we can understand. For that matter, microscopically speaking, mind of the bacteria we can understand. Looking to the recent researches on plantation, on evolutionary aspects of the existence at present, we can understand mind psychologically. This is for the first time, that is what given to us, the proper hypothesis, proper master key, and proper exposition of the spiritual mind. We are supposed to grow spiritual mind in order to digest this mind of the sense. We should not apply intellectual mind, we should not apply rational mind, we should not, and we cannot receive it with our emotional mind. Oh, this is our faith, this is our God, this is our mother, and we should accept it. That is not the case. Layers of the mind we have discussed long back in last episode, the layers of the mind. First of all, our mind has to travel within itself. Mind has to travel within its own orbit. Our mind has to travel first of all in its own orbit order to find out now what is to be done with this sort of what we call imperfect instrument, incompetent instrument, to get the supreme revelation as new reality for mind to undergo. It is the travel of the mind within its own orbit in order to digest the level of the competence of the mind in our present birth. So that is why mind's layers, emotional mind, intellectual mind, rational mind, these are all powerful projections of the mind which prove to be hurdles in this march. And to what extent they can be obstacle, what how powerful all those obstacles are for our goal to be achieved in this present birth are very nicely depicted in the words of the mother, and what he understood in the very presence of the mother might have verified also his own understanding, asking certain complementary and supplementary questions to the mother also while receiving these discourses, while receiving these direct statements, mandatory statements from the mother's mouth. So that is how it is a new way of Upanishad. It is a new way of dialogue with the divine. So this is the authenticity on the part of this scripture, and that is what our task to assimilate the mandate of the Divine Mother through Satprem. Satprem is a bridge, Satprem is a channel, Satprem is a powerful media, but chosen media, blessed media, deputed media, media who has been fortunately assigned a master role for bringing up and nourishing the future humanity. So, Mother transplanted the genuine motherhood in Satprem to bring up the new children of the world for being leaders and forerunners for the new humanity. So that is what a bigger challenge, not only to accelerate the evolution, but to forecast the destiny of the future humanity. How we can be the divine children, how we can be supramental children, how we can be the supramental existence of tomorrow. We have got only one instrument, competent or incompetent, whatever it is, but the only instrument, the instrument of mind. Sri Aurobindo also started with mind, and mother also, as her specific role in this yoga, started her mission from mind. So the two, three things as such are to be clearly comprehended by us to start our sadhana in this birth. So this is what the most opportune time given to us, and through Satprem it has to be given to the people who are little bit aspirant for making themselves to be a traveler on this unique path. This is not merely a sadhana, this is not merely a yoga. This is a very powerful scientific experiment where psychology is included, biology is included, physics is included, astrology and astronomy are included, just all material sciences are included, and all invisible sciences are also included, in which were practiced by our great grand ancestors, and not only of our Indians, all over the world, in Greek culture, in Roman culture, in any culture of the world historically, as we accept through history, where great grand people of the world had powerfully, definitely undergone this sort of experiments and experiences, but nobody did practice it. This is for the first time assignment has been given to us to practice it, and practice it in a spontaneous way. Practice it not taking an adventure in our head like an astronaut. While breathing as common people, walking on the footpath, eating, drinking, sleeping, working, facing the tragedy of life, facing the complications of life, we can do it because mind is always eyewitness to all our experiences and experiments. Our mind is an eyewitness of our own inner and outer experiences and experiments. So that mind has to be so trained that it can start receiving the treasure that has been up till now hidden within us and never opened up for realizing God on the earth itself by ordinary, imperfect human being. And that is why that book seems to be a bit difficult, but that is the only way. If we are determined to do it, we can at least practice it, and within such a short span of life, we can also reach the stage of the mother that is what guaranteed by Satprem here. The descent into the body. Our soul descended into the body, into the womb of our mother prior to our birth. This is second time we have to enter into our body. And who can enter? Soul has already entered. And to identify our soul, to recognize our soul, to charter the route for our soul in this birth, mind as instrument at our command given to us has to be so utilized that we can charter our route from mind to the psychic. So our mind has to reach our psychic. Our mind has to realize our psychic. Our mind has to make psychic active, and our mind has to find out its own source of energy, vision, power, longevity, and immortality. It is the search of the mind for divinity inside the body, and body is a playground. Body is a playground for mind to play with psychic as companion, but to get mastery over time and space, to get mastery over mortality, to get victory over death. This is the research, and this is such a powerful research ever launched by any scientist, any philosopher, any Rishi, any Maharshi, any great grand messengers from divine for the first time. And for 23 years, Mother explained all these things of her inner movement, of her inner march, of her inner experiments to the ordinary human being. Ordinary human being. And he became such a confident deputy of Mother's vision for future humanity. So we are also fortunate to have this direct message from, as Pegambar Sahib transmitted message by Quran Sharif to the world of Islam, and it has become a religion. It has become a philosophy. It has become just all in all for Muslim world. So this is the very concrete example that for 20 years this messenger was so trained up for the future children to bring up. How future humanity can be divinized, because she is world mother. She is not looking and she is not concentrating only on present humanity. She is concentrating on future humanity. It should not get deviated. People of the future world should not get deviated to any apparent, valuable, powerful, most magnetic and attractive objective of the world of those days. But this should be the only master objective, how to conquer death. And with this imperfect body and incompetent mind. So we have no right to complain that our mind is incompetent and our body is imperfect. Even imperfect body with incompetent mind, we can do it and we can get victory over death. That is what the final goal, final master key, and the grand total of all our problems, and a one master solution to all the problems of life. What to do to descend into the body? Up till now, we have not descended into the body. We never talk to our body. We never try to realize what are the real, genuine complications of our body. We can know our diseases. We can know our incompetence. We can know our imperfections. We can know our problems of body medically. We cannot know the problems of our body spiritually. What are the problems, spiritual problems of our body? We have not up till now been aware of it. This is for the first time. The master requirement on our part is the requirement to be aware of our silent, secret, hidden complications at our physical level, real. And that is what the descent into the body. It means descent into the cells of the body, not only body, into the cells of the body. There are different patterns in our body, and they are the patterns of energy. They are the patterns of light. They are the patterns of microscopic patterns of the entire world, entire visible universe. Ya Pindesa Brahmande. So that is the first blueprint given to each and everybody of humanity. And that pattern is to be identified. And we should be, as in the words of Sri Aurobindo, we are supposed to be the architects of immortality. Immortality is our prerogative to be realized tomorrow, but let it be architecturally put on the paper as blueprint. So how map is to be first of all drawn by us to enter into the new zone of immortality with our mortal mind and with our mortal body. So body is mortal, mind is also as peak of the physicality is mortal, but the owner of the body, the owner of the mind, the commander of the mind. And as Sri Aurobindo says in Yoga and its subject, the captain of the body is psychic, is there still. So let him be given full scope to drive all different horses at the command of the psychic. And mind is the powerful horse of psychic that is to be so powerfully commanded. But first of all, that horse should know the power, horsepower of the horse itself. We don't recognize the genuine power of our mind. So, first of all, mind is to be rightly understood, rightly recognized. Thereafter, it is our mind that has to be determined to be the participants of the psychic design in this body throughout our lifespan that is descend into the body. Our question is really that of death. So, what is our question? Our question is not deformation, difficulties, problems as we can spell it out. Really, we don't understand our problem. Really, we don't point out our problem. We are afraid of our problems, but they are all imaginary problems. Problems related to our ahar, food, problems related to our sleep, nindra, problems related to our fear. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen tomorrow? What will happen tomorrow? And problems related to Maithun, that biological process of generation for deterioration. Our generation, germination is for deterioration. Day by day, we are deteriorating. But we just try to solve these problems. Satprem has written very first statement in this descent into the body. Our question is really that of death. How death can be conquered? Death can be conquered with the power of psychic through mind. Death can be conquered through mind. If mind is rightly projected, if mind is rightly channelized, if mind is rightly driven, and driven to where? What should be the terminus of our pilgrim of mind? So, real pilgrim of mind ends at the level of self, at the level of cellular entity, where divinity is there, immortality is there, and the very first core materialization of real light into matter. It is the light that has been the matter materialization. So, very first materialization of light of consciousness into human cell in our mother's body, in our mother's womb prior to our birth. So the cellular formation is a formation in the body of our mother. So it is the mother earth, it is the mother universe, it is the mother world where the psychic of the divine, the cell, the cellular entity of the divine, the microscopic entity of the divine is moving, is living, is occupying the entire Leela of the universe, and that has become our psychic. Tadatmanam srujamyaham. Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Tadatmanam srujamyaham. Srujamyaham is not manifestation only, it's not abhivyakti only. It is the creativity. I have created your soul. I have been your soul. I have accepted the formation of soul for you to realize. So I have given you objective also. I have given you strength also. I have given you instrument also. Why don't you realize what is your real instrument, what is your real path, and what is your real objective? So up till now, body was neglected. Nashvanta Deha is to be neglected. For body is not Nashvant. Apparently, phenomenon of death presents us and gives us the wrong message that this body is Bhasmi Bhutasya Dehasya Punragamanam Kuta, is not the reality. So the illusory reality misunderstood by our greatest people all over the world in all different cults are challenged by this new sadhana of new consciousness, because psychic consciousness, activated psychic consciousness, is the real velocity of our soul. And the real velocity of our soul is not static, soul is not simply dormant, soul is not simply unidentified, soul is the divine velocity, and the divine velocity is to be activated if we want to conquer death. As long as the physical reality of the coffin, as long as the physical reality of the coffin or the funeral pyre is not changed, this reality of pyre, this reality of coffin, this reality of death is not to be accepted as reality. It is a temporary stage, it is a temporary phenomenon. We should go beyond it. And we should go beyond it. Mind is meant for it. Mind is not for audit purpose. You are right and he is right and she is right and he is wrong and I am wrong and I am right. Is not for audit purpose, not for this calculation. Is to find out the real reality of life. And real reality of life is immortality. Unless and until divinity is activated in our body from mind, from the level of the mind to the level of the cell, then only we can have the real architecture of our human body, the real pattern of our human body, real design of our human body. बड़ो भाग मानुज तन पावा. Tulsidas ji has written. Tulsidas ji has not written बड़ो भाग मानव मन पावा. Manuj tan pawa. Tan is body. So this body is a blessing to us, is a divine gift to us. And Mother proved it to be the divine gift. Whatever is given to us by birth in human body has got its own immortality, has got its own accountability, has got its own prime role to be accomplished throughout this life. So lifespan is given to us for this magnificent reality to be unveiled. We have to realize it. It's not the funeral pyre is our final reality. Coffin is not our final reality. Means death is not our final reality. Beyond death, the reality exists beyond death is to be achieved, and then we can conquer the death. Death is an illusory phenomenon. Satprem has written illusory phenomenon, but we accepted it as final and ultimate reality. Basmibhutasya dehasya punaragamanam. But if it is not ended, no question of punaragaman comes. No question of punaragaman arises. It is under our control, and we can realize that control with the means, with the appropriate use of our own mind. But we don't know, we don't operate our mind efficiently, scientifically, significantly, and as per the divine planning, divine design, and divine formula. Nothing will be changed, and we will perpetuate the law that has ruled life since the protonza. Even if we temporarily take off into the undulation, it's almost as if it were the question given me to solve. Mother says, I don't understand the question. Sri Aurobindo did not reveal this secret to me even. Why he departed? Why he has left? Why he accepted death? Everybody in Pondicherry expected Sri Aurobindo to come in the same body. And I am one of them. Sri Aurobindo did not disclose this master secret to me even. But now I understand. After 50, Mother understood that now I understood that this is what the assignment given to me, that how humanity, uncharted route for humanity is to be traveled by you firstly. Let it be a chartered route for humanity, but for you personally, it is uncharted route. You will have to travel from your mind to your self, to the core nucleus of human body. That is the assignment given to me. That is what I understood for the first time now. So you can just understand what a powerful secret that was disclosed for the first time by Mother to Satprem. So to what extent Satprem is fortunate? It was directly addressed to him. It's most as if it were the question given me to solve, said Mother. Mother is first and foremost the struggle against death. Mother's experiment is the struggle against death. That is Savitri. The core problem of Savitri, the challenge that is accepted by Mother after the departure of Sri Aurobindo. Because Sri Aurobindo had died in 1950. Satprem has written word died. It's a mortal death. Sri Aurobindo accepted as mortal human being. So the illusory death was accepted by Sri Aurobindo. That is what the last portion of Savitri that was not revised by Sri Aurobindo in the presence of Nirod Baran. And Nirod Baran asked Sri Aurobindo that this is the portion left out by us, yet to be revised. What to do and when shall we do it? Shall we do it tomorrow? Shall we do it day after tomorrow? Sri Aurobindo kept mum, did not answer. But 2-3 minutes later on, Sri Aurobindo said, we shall see it later on. And later on, so this is the assignment given to mother, that you just complete this experiment and thereafter will do it. And supramental body of Sri Aurobindo many a time presented himself before mother to give certain clues to realize this, to march on this uncharted, and that is what given to us. Like, Sri Aurobindo had died in 1950, like Orpheus and Eurydice. For 23 years, she was to battle with the question. Mother fought on the battlefield of human body's existence for 23 years. And I was the eyewitness. I was the only eyewitness. That is what Satprem felt. I saw with my own eyes the battle that mother had undergone for 23 years. She was to battle with the question like a lioness. Like a lioness, mother fought this battle. But in fact, one cannot go into the indulation and ubiqueness like life unless something has changed in the system of death. The system of death has to be changed. The perspective of death accepted by us, people like us, as master phenomenon has to be changed first of all. We must change our mind first of all, and to get rid of our mind is to be enabled this way to get rid of the riddle of death. It is the fear of death that ultimately becomes death. If we get out of the fear, then possibility is being generated by us to conquer death. It's the very first requirement on the part of the sadhak of Sri Aurobindo at any moment of time, at any moment of life, at any moment of age. We should not allow the fear of death to enter into. If that fear is changed, then disease also can be changed. Suffering can be changed. Reality can be changed. Phenomenon of fire and coffin can be changed. And ultimately death is conquered. But in fact, one cannot go into the indulations and uniqueness life unless something has changed in the system of death. For what makes the barrier also makes death. What makes us barrier all the while fearful. So that fear of death is to be removed first time from our mind to make our mind competent to battle with the death, to fight with the death, to challenge the death. So death is a real, genuine problem for mind, and it is to be conquered in this life. So the very purpose of human life is to conquer death.